Hola! The last surviving 100-year-old prosecutor of the Nuremberg trials has a message for us. People get discouraged. They should remember from me, it takes courage not to be discouraged. You and I are special people. Why? Because we are dedicated to growing in consciousness. Most people are not. There are people who are committed to their spirituality, and there are spiritual tourists. You and I know which type achieves the greatest results. Hola, from Colombia. With the present great world confusion, I wish to do my part to accelerate the evolution of human consciousness. Please help by subscribing and sharing these videos. Thank you. A spiritually enlightened person once described God as the endless song of infinite balance. A truly wonderful description. Everything in nature strives toward balance. Everything in our galaxy and the universe strives toward balance. Humanity is the exception. We are an imbalanced species, yet we also are designed to be in balance with nature and with our world. That is what our current crisis is all about. We have been out of balance with our world, with nature, with our environment, with other nations, and finally with each other for so very long. We are now going through a universal reset. The cabals are parasites that have fed on us for way too long. Our world leaders are out of balance with life, our government, religions, the whole caboodle. Our overall stress and anxiety, our fears, aggression, blame, anger, guilt, the list is long, is all evidence of our imbalance. We are separated from the divine source. When imbalance becomes too prolonged in a species, it tends to get addressed by a higher order. We are now experiencing it because humanity is ready for the next evolutionary leap. There are no conspiracy theorists, only conspiracy realists. We each reap the harvest of our own beliefs and attitudes. Without a doubt, widespread death and suffering is going to eventually bring about balance, whether we like it or not. Infinite love is the name of balance. Infinite love is the energy of balance. This is surely a good enough reason to constantly and consciously live, think, and be infinite love. Humanity in its true form is uncontrollable. When we perceive life in a limited way, it becomes a reflection of our limits. Right now, the illusion is so powerful, it is easy to get lost in a limited perception of the not so obvious greater reality. For centuries, humanity has struggled in a fear-dominated society. This fear, which has been carefully cultured and fed to us via the mainstream media for well over a century, has held the human life frequency in a low level. In other words, the white sheep frequency, holding down both our spirituality and our greater potential. Religion has played its part in this by placing an intermediary between us and God, thus denying us our natural and divine oneness, connection with spirit. The falsity and lie of separation has been carefully implanted and taught in our schools and especially our universities. And yet, all teachers are convinced that they teach the truth. We are now in a time of change. Since 2012, the frequency of life on Earth has been rising. Now it is reaching a critical mass where the old and the new can no longer coexist. The cabal of lies and control is getting desperate, attempting to speed up and complete their plan of global control over humanity. They know they are doomed. They know this is their end. They know that love is rising ever stronger, bringing ever more light into life on earth. They know that love and light are irreversible. They do not know love. Their energy is too low to experience it. Every day their energy is going downhill as they become shadows of the energy giants they once were. This militaristic ruling elite, disguised as a cult, are androids or artificial intelligence machines that pose as humans but are not. They dominate this world since this plane materialized. They have no spirit. Spirit is energy. Therefore, they have no energy of their own. They are perpetual, but they are not eternal. They're perpetual, that is, perpetuated like all data held on a chip. You change a computer and transfer its data from one to another. They parasitize on the energy of the spirit of man. That is why they propose vaccines to change human DNA. That is their transhuman agenda so that they can occupy and control the human body. That by free consent is given to them in exchange for their protection. They need your consent and voluntary surrender to occupy your spirit. The vaccines imposed by force do not fulfill their purposes, since the spirit cannot be conquered. The spirit is unconquerable unless man voluntarily gives it out. Hence, the scare tactics they are spreading through the lie of a false pandemic. Its purpose is to make you fear, and because of that fear, you surrender to them seeking their protection. We are in the midst of this pivotal time where the old world is still apparent as the new divine matter grows within our very bodies. The time has come for the next step of human destiny, the new Idessic species. Will you choose to align yourself with the divine plan or the Luciferian plan? Due to my peaceful non-cooperation, I went to prison. I describe my prison experience in my book, True Freedom is Inside of Me. Please visit my bilingual website. The only solution is very simple. I must connect to my true self, my soul. Easy to say, not so easy to do. Please go into action now and make the choice between listening to your ego-mendacious mind and the external authorities or listening to your soul, the internal authority. I consult and offer tools so that you can find your individual solution by making contact with your soul. Your soul will then effectively guide you through the upcoming, long-lasting, turbulent transition. Infinite love.